I really wanted to do a budget build with the new Ryzen 3300X or the Ryzen 3100 at the respective retail prices of either $120 or $100 respectively. But I don't know when those are actually going to come out and be at those prices. I see them on Amazon, or not even on Amazon. I saw those on Newegg, but they're like $200. I was going around Amazon the other day, or actually 2 days ago, and I came upon the Ryzen 5 1600 for $104.99. You might remember earlier this year, if you were planning on a budget build yourself, that it was like at $85. I should have picked one up then. But then all of a sudden it was out of stock, and then all of a sudden it was at stupid prices at $150, $200, and so on. So when I saw this price, I picked one up, and it's right here. So I'm excited that it's actually in my hands, and yes, it is the AF, Ryzen 5 1600 AF. And the GPU I'm going to pair it with is, da-da, the XFX RX 580. This came out of a pre-built that I bought last year that my son was using. I replaced this 580 with a 1660 in his system, so I have this collecting dust right now, so to speak. So this should be a very nice pairing with the Ryzen 5 1600, and it is the 8GB model. So very excited to pair it with that. And the RAM I already have in my inventory. Again, I do have 2 sticks of 8GB, so 16GB total of 2400 DDR4. I know it's not the fastest, but again, this is just a budget build. Really no gaming on that because me and my son, we have our own gaming rig. So just a really light workstation. So 16GB of DDR4 will be more than enough. The motherboard, though, I have not purchased yet. I'm just aiming for any basic B450 motherboard. But if you've been planning your own budget build or mid-range build or high-end build, you've noticed that the motherboards are just either out of stock or they're at stupid price gouging prices right now. So a lot of these motherboards are just not in stock. They'll be in stock sometime in June. I've been looking on Amazon and Newegg, and there's literally just nothing available. So I have to wait on that probably another week or 10 days before I pull a trigger on a decent B450 motherboard. Hopefully no more than $100. And as far as storage, I'm going to pick up a WD Blue. A 500GB boot drive will be more than enough. I just need to put Windows 10 on there, Chrome, maybe a few applications. Probably won't even use up more than 150 gigabytes total, which will leave plenty of room in the future if we ever decide to take this computer and make it some sort of gaming rig. And as you know, I can always put it in a 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte mechanical hard drive if need be. So, there's $65 there. And for the PSU, I was lucky enough to pick up a Thermal Lake Smart 500 watt 80 plus white PSU for just $45. As you know, during this worldwide pandemic, the stock on these things have been running out, and there have been stupid prices again, with power supplies going up to $200, $300, even $400, which is stupid. But I am glad that I have one in my hands and I didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for one. So that is in the inventory. So I have all these parts, or I'm getting all these parts, and to house all these parts, I did pick up a cheap case, which is now out of stock, the AeroCool Cylon RGB mid tower with a cheap ass window, and it is black. And when I mean it is cheap, it is dirt cheap. It feels like it weighs about 10 ounces. I'm exaggerating, but this thing is light. The metal is thin. It doesn't have a glass side panel. Again, it has that acrylic side panel. And one of the screws right down here by my thumb was missing from it. But other than that, it seems to be okay. I'm not going to go through the trouble of contacting Amazon, returning it, and go through the whole 9 yards for a missing screw. Again, you get what you pay for, and I paid for a $40 case, but I think it will do the job just fine with this budget build. You know, this case only has one cheap fan in the rear. I've already taken it out because I have a plethora. I mean, I have a crap load of fans. Fans in my hand, fans in the back table there. I got fans everywhere, so I should have no problems cooling this budget build. Well, there you have it. Those are the parts I'm using for my budget build. I hopefully can have this completed within the next couple 2-3 weeks, by end of June at latest. So make sure to subscribe and follow along and see how it turns out. I'm probably going to download a few Steam games on there and see how it games and what frames per second we can get and have some fun with it, because I know we can overclock the hell out of this, and that's what I'm going to have fun trying to do. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.